Welcome to the Next Level podcast. This show is for leaders, builders, and bold thinkers who know they're meant for more and are finally ready to stop waiting and start moving. The Next Level Lab is where confidence meets clarity, where identity turns into action, and where bold decisions create real momentum. Here we'll talk about leadership, growth, energy, mindset, and what it actually takes to build a life and a business that feel aligned, powerful, and totally yours. You'll hear real conversations, real stories, real strategies. No fluff, no playing small, and no waiting until you feel ready. This podcast is your permission to lead louder, move faster, and own your next level. I'm your host, Callie Wiley. Let's freaking go. Welcome to the first episode of the Next Level Lab podcast on YouTube. This is part of the whole rebrand. So welcome along on the journey. I'm super excited today to have the Dapper Hiker here. This is the third time. It's the third time we've recorded this. We're going to talk about our failures very openly on this podcast over and over and over again. So this is the third time we've recorded this. We did it the first night that you got here. So 3-4 nights ago, we recorded right at the gate, realized that the camera wasn't plugged in. So we crushed a whole first episode and went to look at it. We high-fived. We were super proud.
It was good.
It was so good. And then we realized that the camera had died and we only recorded 14 minutes of an hour-long podcast.
Yep.
So then we just recorded 30 minutes ago and realized that our mics the receiver was not plugged in. So third time's a charm.
Listen, we're doing it this time. It's happening.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
So for the third time, we're just going to keep digging deeper and deeper every time.
Yeah.
So good luck, because even last time we got a little more vulnerable. But we're talking about imposter syndrome, and it's something that you and I connected on right away because both of us have found success. We both do a lot of different things, and we connected on TikTok.
Yep.
And let's just bring that out right away. We connected on TikTok a while ago, and just really through creativity started talking about why was that. Right out the gate, we were like, do you struggle too? I don't know. We went really heavy.
We went like, hey, here's our issues right off the bat.
We have imposter syndrome. But I find that most people that find success do. And you have a lot of different things going on. You have a full-time job. You do a lot of side creative projects with people. You have your own pages that you do, a couple of them, based on different things that you do. And we've talked about imposter syndrome. Yeah. And so talk to me about where you struggle. Talk to me about your struggles.
Well, I think even kind of you mentioned there is like finding success in it. And I think that's where imposter syndrome hits hard is what does success look like? Are you successful? Or is this just a hobby? Am I doing this for real? Those are all things that kind of cross my mind. And is what I'm doing actually a business or is it a side hobby? And it's just always going to be that. Yeah. Yep.
You know what I would tell you.
But it's I think that's where I struggle the most is am I anything within this? But then as I continue to work out, I'm here doing a full rebrand shoot with you over multiple days, which is wild. Never would have thought in a million years that I would be ever a part of that. I think when you reached out to me and talked about rebrand, I'm like, well, that's not something I do. I'm more of a street photographer. Do a few different projects within that.
I told you were.
Yeah, and the whole well, that's what I'm looking for is that vibe, that style within a rebrand, which I would have never put those two things together because when I looked at rebrand or brand photos, it was always the corporate, very polished, very posed, very studio-esque brand photos, which it works for people. I'm not gonna hate on anybody or any kind of photographer or client that is in search of that. I think there's a time and place for that. But for me, I think what looks good is, hey, here's what this person, this is her style, this is her vibe, this is her energy. How do we pull that out and showcase that through photos? And I think we did really well with it. But even throughout the time as we were shooting photos, how many times did I come to you and be like, here, look at this. I was searching for validation of, hey, your eye is what I'm after. So
yeah. And I think that even when I first reached out, I found you through TikTok, through your Dapper Hiker. It wasn't even your photography page initially. And when I found your style, I was obsessed with the style that you were carrying. I was obsessed with how you were capturing things. It was a little darker, it was a little moodier. And when I launched my brand, we'll talk about
my pre-brand, my pre-brand, my journey of getting there. But when I first launched this full time, my brand was very bright, very bubbly, very fun, because that's what I thought people wanted to see. And when I went into this rebrand, it was very much like, but how do I actually coach? How do I show up? Yeah. What am I trying to portray? Who's my ideal client? And when I came across your work, it was an instant, and you asked right away, like, but why me?
Yeah.
And for me, it was like this instant, like, this is who I need to work with. I do not care if he's doing this on an iPhone, then I guess that's what we're doing. Yeah. You don't. You have a real camera and you do a real business. But it was one of those things that I was like, oh, this is in line with what I'm looking for. And I know right away you were instantly like, but why me? Like, you're super connected with people, and you called me out on it. Like, you were like, you have a huge network, and I do. And I do have really talented people around me, but it was that style that you carried. Yeah. And it was that ability to capture things in that dark, a little grainy, a little moody ability that's what I knew my brand needed. Yeah. And you hesitated.
I hesitated till like I got on the plane to come out here. I mean, it was a constant like, why me? Is this going to work out? I mean, I was preparing for failure on my end of like, I'm not going to nail this rebrand photo shoot for her. Yeah. And was kind of coming to being like, okay, this is the last time this will happen for me. I'll sell my camera when I get back, and
just sell it off. I sold it in the airport on the way home. Little for sale sign.
Harry has it. The guy I met at the Palisade. So and I think that's where you kind of just, imposter syndrome does that to you, and you're like, okay, you're not good enough. And when you have a network around you, I mean, we talked about it of when we first did this, I was saying, why me? Because people around me were saying, well, why you? Why you? Someone said to me, why you? You're not even a real photographer, which is like, what a gut stabbing like thing to say. And this person's a friend. Like, I don't see her, like, she's great as an individual and a friend. But when that was said, it was like, oh, like, am I a real photographer? And to her doing it, it's like, she just didn't see me in that way, because it was newer from a like, hey, I'm gonna make this thing a business versus a hobby photographer.
And you've been doing hobby photography for a long time, and doing it in different ways, in different settings, differently. You've had YouTube channels for a long time. You're currently involved with a YouTube channel, and I know I've received a lot of that feedback in the past. Like, when I launched my brand, people were like, well, how did you do this in 6 months? You asked me that. Yeah. Like, how did you do this? And it's like, I've been doing this for years. Like, I started public speaking years ago. Yeah. But it wasn't, no one paid me the same when I was 16. They're like, here's coffee and lunch. And I was thrilled. Yeah. Like, it was just not, it was different. Yeah. But we've been building these situations, and we forget that. Yeah. We forget that it's not anything that you do to build this is building who you are right now. You don't just come out the gate with an LLC. Maybe some people do, but I did not. Like, I did this years for free, and years for trade, and years for other things, and just and now it's become real.
Well, for me too, it's that confidence in I'm a very confident individual. Yeah. I've been told in my career that sometimes I'm too confident and need to humble myself. But when it comes down to this, and really even just as we were kind of talking there, it clicked with me. It's the money piece of things. So my buddy and I, who has a YouTube of I Travel for Coffee, like we're going into coffee shops all over the United States and potentially all over the world. We walk in there and you would never know that I have imposter syndrome. Like, I'm full shotgun mic, camera, gimbal, like set up, like it looks like it's a professional team going in there. But there's low risk for me because I don't have to see their reaction to it. When he posts that YouTube video, the views that he get, like, that's his stress. Yeah. I don't have to worry about, like, well, the B-roll that I shot doesn't look as great to the customer. Like, if a coffee shop's like, well, like, I would have rather it be this or that, I don't get that feedback. Yeah. But if I'm shooting a brand photography session with you, we got to sit down and review those photos afterwards. That's the scary part. You paid me to come do that. That's the terrifying part. Now I own the success or failure of this, and that's where imposter syndrome starts to take over and really messes with your mind of like, you should probably just not do this because it's safer to say no and avoid the opportunity of disappointment versus just
I mean, even when we reviewed photos last night, like we sat down and like we've been together for 3 or 4 days. 4 days. Like this is not day one.
Yeah.
And I was giving you that feedback of like, hey, this is what I love, this is what I don't love. Yeah. Yes, we had already posted the rebrand, and like we'd already posted it.
Yeah, we didn't even look at all the photos yet. So.
And even your reactions with like, if you were like, okay, there's a no, a like, and a love. Like we're going to categorize all these photos. And if I didn't react quick enough because I was scrolling on social media to see if people liked our post, to see if the post was doing well, it was like an instant, like I could feel the like, you don't like this? Hey, like, oh no, I love that. But it was like, it's that reassurance of like, am I delivering? And I know over and over again, you would ask me like, do you feel like this is enough? I'm like, we're at lunch. Like, put your camera down. I don't want pictures. It's not on brand of me eating tacos. Maybe it is. But it was like those little moments for you of like, hey, am I providing enough for you? Am I giving you enough value?
Yeah.
When I knew right out the gate, like, I'm like, we're done. Yeah. And we're all done here.
You said like after day one, you felt that the investment that you made was good.
Yeah.
We still have 2 days left to shoot. And to your point, like there was times where I'm like, okay, I got to take my camera because I need to make sure she knows that I'm invested in this and that I'll put more time and effort into it. But you talked about like reviewing those photos on the couch last night. I mean, we're sitting there and you would say love and you'd hear me go, and you're like, is that wrong? And I'm like, no, I'm holding my breath to like, I think that was my like, okay, I'm waiting for the validation and I'm holding my breath. And when you told me that it was good, okay, I can breathe a little bit. Like I can, it was, okay, this is okay. Because there's a ton of not great photos in there. You
could ruin my life.
There's some candids.
You could ruin my life in candids if you wanted to. If anything ever went sideways, you could destroy me
and
with
future
photos.
Clients, I will never do that. So but people talk to us like, well, why don't you give like all the photos out? Like not all the photos are great.
100%.
Like it takes a bunch of snaps of a camera to get that one spot.
We took thousands of photos.
Yeah.
And we narrowed it down to 175.
Yes.
Like thousands over multiple days in multiple locations.
Yeah.
Multiple cities. I mean, we went all out.
Yeah.
And we dwindled it down.
Well, and that too is like for someone who's getting into photography and it's not just point and click. And
it's not.
Especially these days, like everybody's like, all these cameras are so automated. Like they are. But I pride myself too is like I don't run auto like on any of my stuff, like autofocus I do, but like I'm setting my own settings, I'm setting my own that kind of stuff because I like the feel of, I'd rather it be a little bit off on a color, I'd rather it be a little bit grainy, a little bit this, like that's my style. I don't want a super polished image to come out and people will look at it and be like, oh, that's a little grainy. Like, yep, that's what I like.
That's your intention.
That's intentional.
Which is what I fell in love with your brand, because when I like sat down to rebrand my stuff, it was, what do I want? And it was dark, moody, high success, a little boundary pushing, a little sexy. Like I wanted that push. And when I saw your work, I was like, oh, like I found the guy. I found the guy, and I don't care where the guy lives. I don't care where the guy lives. The guy will be here to take my photos, which in my world, people know me, right? I went to some of the people in my circle and I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Like I hired this guy and here's his social media. This is what I want. And people in my world were like, tracks.
Yeah,
like,
it's very Cali of you. Yeah.
Tracks. People in your world were not the same way. People were not the same way with you.
Yeah, it was, hey, you're nuts. You're gonna get murdered. You're gonna get framed. You're gonna get like the wild things that came out of this. Like, there's people in my circle that are waiting to write a book about this, hoping it's fictional.
I think it should still be a book.
But yeah, like small town Pennsylvania, and people don't usually say yes to a TikTok DM of like, hey, and the conversations around that. I mean, we talked once on the phone
to book your flight.
Before, and it was 3 minutes of like, hey, here's the flights you have. Everything else was text, like, which is wild. And like, thankfully it worked out. Like, our energies match extremely well. But even when we talk about like energy, like that's what I use as my photography. Like I'm photographing an energy, not a image. Like I think people, and there's a place for the super polished, clean look. It's just not mine. And when you talk about imposter syndrome around that, there's going to be a lot of individuals out there that don't like what I'm putting out. They're going to think, well, like it could be cleaner, and they're going to see a super crisp, clean photo from someone else and be like, well, that's what I want. Then go get that. Like then hire that individual. There's a place for a bunch of different photographers in the world. And I struggled with that too, of like, well, do I shift my, like how I shoot to meet everybody's expectation of what it is, and what you talked about, like how your podcast started, it was everybody's friend, I'm going to be this, or your business, your coaching stuff. I thought, do I do that with my photography? And after this, I'm like, nope. Like we've got great feedback from your friends in your circle of like, feedback. Hey, this is what I want. Like I want to book with him. And that's the kind of thing that to me is like, wow, okay. Like my style is what people like. I need to stay within that.
There's so much power involved, like staying authentic to who you are. And I struggled with that too, right? Like my brand was not who I am today because I tried to fit what other people want.
Yeah.
And as soon as I took a step back, I mean, you and I have talked a lot. Pricing is something we've talked a lot about. We've talked a lot about a whole range of growing businesses, building businesses, doing the things. Sorry, you get friend me and coach me. So sorry, and podcast, and hustled onto the podcast.
It's been a weekend.
My friend. Be my friend and you get everything. But when we talk pricing and different things and all these little aspects, it's that confidence of, can you charge more?
Yeah.
Can you be more? Is someone going to like this? What about that? What about this? And I realized through coaching and through just conversation, even not coaching directly, that the brand that I was portraying was not how I actually worked.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got more authentic, that's when I saw more and more people reaching out. Like people were like, oh, like, I don't know what your website is because that doesn't make any sense. But how you show up on social media and how you talk and how you're bold. The first contract you ever sent me.
Yeah.
What did I say back?
You're an idiot.
Literally the first thing, like, just you're an idiot, period.
Yeah, which is a wild thing of like, I sent it thinking like, okay, like, I feel like this is good, it's gonna be, like, I even like thought I was pushing a boundary of like, okay, I'm gonna show up as the preferred vendor here, and so, And then I was like, no, and I sent it back. I was like, I'm not paying you this. This is because it was too low. Let's be very clear. Not because it was too high. Yeah. It was too low and it was stupid. Yeah.
And that's how I show up in my coaching world. And it didn't align with my brand. The bestie that's always rooting for you, and it was not my brand. Yeah. But talking about pricing, so much imposter syndrome sits in pricing.
It's the hardest thing when you can say, people have the skill and you can see it. When you start to talk about like, hey, this is a business, I'm going to start charging people for this, holy shit, does the panic start to set in.
Yep.
And like, what is now my art worth to somebody and to me in my own time?
Yeah.
So
it has to be lucrative, right? Like you have a family, you have things going on, you have a full-time job, you do 10 other creative projects. This has to make sense for you.
A lot. Yeah.
And even since I told you were stupid with your pricing, we've laughed about it. And like, you will send me things like, hey, this is what I'm thinking pricing, and what do I always say? Add a zero. Add another zero, because there's just so much, but I'm just as guilty. The first invoice I sent, well, not the first one, but I sent a client an invoice and they paid it instantly. I felt like I was really pushing the boundaries.
I'm killing it.
I'm killing it. And then I got a review back, and the review said something to the effect of like, I budgeted 3 times the amount. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And they're like, she's very affordable. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. But it's so hard to find that middle ground and to find that confidence and to not feel like what you're doing is just for nothing, or that you're going to fail. And what if I fail?
Yeah.
And if I do fail, did I charge them too much if I failed? I know the whole way with us, you've been trying to reassure, like, but are you sure you love these?
Yeah.
These are good. We love these. You love these. Yes, I love these.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm happy. Yes, I'm satisfied. But it's hard because when you're dropping money on things and when you're paying a big invoice and someone's paying you a big invoice, finding that confidence in it.
Well, we talked about like our lunch conversations get real deep. We've had some.
We really like deep conversation over lunch in very public places.
Yep. Yeah. Thai food gets us into a zone. But we talk a lot about, I mean, we talked yesterday about like pushing yourself too, and like the sales side of things. Like, how do you approach conversation? Yes. And what happened, we left lunch, we go to Palisade. I met and started talking to a dude in the restroom, like in the men's room of a ski resort. But to me, that's where like I will have that conversation with that individual, joking around, having a banter back and forth with everybody.
Yeah.
How do I now turn that into, hey, here, follow me on Instagram if you ever looking for this type of work, or not even like pushing this type of work, like that's, hey, here's my work.
Yeah.
If this is any of value to you, and not like that will come back around.
And you did. You guys exchanged social medias, and I've never been so proud.
Walking out, exchanging social medias out of the men's room.
Yep.
And that's what's wild, and it gets crazy on really. Like, how do you start to trust in what you're doing and having confidence in that? And it's but having that network around you to be like, hey, you're an idiot, charge more. Because too, like where I'm from, like we talked about, there was a project that I had potentially was going to work with on some video work, and I kicked the price back, and he said, hey, not right now. I don't have the budget for that.
Yeah. My
instant response was like, okay, I'll cut it in half. Or just tell them I'll do it for portfolio builder.
Yeah.
I reach out to you and you're like, nope, like
move on.
There's another client, there's another project that will come its way. And I'm so glad I moved on from it too, because you mentioned of the review of like being affordable, and I don't want to be the affordable photographer.
No.
Like I want to be the value the value added photographer. What I'm doing is creating value for you as the customer or the client, because I think what we did this weekend is going to be very value add.
Absolutely. I mean, it changed my whole trajectory of my business, and that for me, that's everything.
Yeah.
Like it set the whole tone for my business. We posted last night, and talk about validation. We're both checking the post 1,000 times to make sure it was doing well, but it did great.
Yeah.
And it got the response we were looking for. Yeah. And it hit that everything. I mean, and your branding ability and your creative sense is incredible to me, because it was like, I mean, we made the podcast cover last night.
Yeah.
Like we were very excited about that, because it was like, what image did we have that goes with the tone and goes with the thing? But your intentionality around, okay, but now what music?
Yeah.
Like now what? Yeah. Now where does this go? And that push of everything has been super fascinating to watch. I know. We're getting emotional in the third episode, the third time.
Third time's a charm.
But just that intentionality that you can bring, and that, hey, this is hyper intentional. Like your creative sense is so much more than I think you ever give yourself credit for.
And I think a lot of times people don't see social media, and I have a whole new respect for social media as time has gone through. The post that we put up last night, there was 2 images that came out of that. The second image is a piece of a larger image.
Yeah.
Intentionally as a sneak peek. Here's half your face.
And we did black and white.
Dark and gloomy. Like it's a very mysterious, like what's happening, like you can see the subtleness of the headphones for a podcast style, but like it's not giving full picture of that. And that's what I love in photography, is the art of like the mystery behind it, like what's truly happening here. Because what I thrive on in that is like, I want someone else to create the story of what's existing in this. I know what I see in it, but I want to give the opportunity for someone else to be like, well, here's what I see in it. And I'm like, cool, that's awesome. Like that's art. That's what it's meant to be. I'm gonna tear, like how am I tearing up over like this kind of stuff? But like that's where the energy that exists around that, the passion that exists around that to me is like where like art and artists like thrive. Is like, well, what are you seeing in this, and what's the story, what's the energy, what's the vibe, what's the mood? Like that to me is exhilarating.
Which was so cool. Like, so you've been here for a few days.
Yep.
Because we went all in on the branding.
Yeah, we've been around.
And you had the opportunity here to go do a ton of street stuff. And like we did the ski resorts and we did Lake Tahoe and we did all these different places, and getting to watch your ability. So you come to me and you're like, I'm not good enough. I'm not the guy for this.
Yeah.
And then I get to watch you do street photography. And I got to watch you unfold with your how you did my branding stuff. You saw spaces that I never saw.
Yeah.
Like weird little corners of things and weird little staircases and weird little areas that I was like, what? I don't know what we're going for here. And then we would see it happen and it would come to life.
Yeah.
And it had that right image. But then I got to watch you do street photography, which was so cool.
Yeah.
Because it was, hey, I'm going to shoot that. And I see a ski lift and you see a gear turning.
Yeah.
I see a river. You see a Coors can.
Yeah.
Like just that art eye for me. So every time you're telling me I don't think I'm capable.
Yeah.
And then I'm saying, but you're the most talented person I've ever met in photography world. And then internally you're like, but can I put my camera down at lunch because I work for you? And I'm like, please do. Is so powerful to watch, and it's so cool to see, and how we talk to ourselves, right? I do a lot of affirmation work. You know this. You're a daily helper on my my responses. Yeah. But I do a lot of affirmation work, and around imposter syndrome, it's how we're talking to ourselves, right? I'm telling you you're the guy I need to work with to convey my message. You're telling you, is this good enough?
Yeah, and you mentioned like the river and the Coors can, and I think that's like the two worlds that I'm trying to bring to life. So I walked down there. I walked down there to like call my kids. Yeah. So the goal was to FaceTime my kids and like just check in. I walk down there and I see this Coors can smashed in between two rocks. My mind is like, wonder what the person was going through sitting here on this rock by a river. Like the emotion.
No, I'm like, what is happening?
It could have been just kids like tossed a beer can, but my mind is like, what is existing within this moment? What's someone going through? What's their thoughts? What's their like, an image of a Coors can is what runs through my mind in that moment. How do I translate that into someone's work, to your brand? Like, how many times did I ask you, like, what are you trying to say? Like, what's the message behind that? Because I'll recreate that with a photo, and that's where I think it starts to hit
energy
really
photography.
hard. Yes,
energy photography all the way through, and your ability to share a story through energy. I mean, when we created the podcast cover, it was very intentional.
Yeah,
your work was very intentional around. And I mean, you asked me when we first started working, like, what's your brand mission?
Yeah.
What's your vision? Where do you want to head with this? Yeah. What programs are you looking to launch? And some of them you were like, I think that misses the mark. Yeah. And that's part of that network, right? Is having those people that'll push back a little bit. We want cheerleaders. Yeah. And we've talked a lot, you guys. Yeah. We've talked a lot over 4 days. Talked a lot. But we all want cheerleaders. We want the support. But who in your circle is pushing back? Yeah. And who's telling you to get better and dream bigger and go harder? Who's telling you to play safe? Like, having the circle that's pushing you to get really creative and to take different steps, but also will be really honest. I have people in my circle all the time that are like, no. And you've said it to me. Yeah. Like, I mean, I push stuff out to you and you're like, no, like, that's not what you're saying. You did it to me when we were shooting. And I mean, my old brand was very bubbly. I really thought that I was going to be this like coral pink bubbly.
Yeah. You're not.
I am not. Yeah. That's not who I am. It's not my brand. It's not how I coach. It's not how I speak. And we would be taking photos and you would literally be like, that's old brand Callie. Like, knock it off. Knock it off. Like, and everything, all the images that came back were very what I was looking for, right? Because of your ability to see art. And in your head, you're panicking of, is this enough? Yeah. Every time.
Yeah, even reviewing photos last night. Like, we're sitting on a couch and you're like, I like this. And I'm like, well, this isn't on brand. Like, this isn't.
You can't have that.
Like,
cool. You can have it.
It's a nice photo. Yeah. Like, you're smiling, you're giddy. Like, that personality still is there, but it's not the message that you're putting into your brand. Yeah. Because it's not how you coach. Like, you coach like boom, 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 boom. Hey, I love this for you. Hey, I like proud of you. Like, proud of you is not a bubbly message. Yeah. Proud of you is a deep, like, holy shit, I'm proud of you message. That doesn't come from a giggly side face.
Which is crazy because I don't ever look at it that way.
Yeah. Like, a proud of you moment should be like a heartfelt, like, damn, like you're doing something, I'm proud of you.
Why do you feel that way? Because I feel like it's a hype cheerleader. Yeah. That triggers something for you. And
yeah.
Where does that land for you?
For me, it's I mean, childhood, like searching for the pride. My mom's a fantastic cheerleader, like, and she's the greatest thing that exists for me. But I was always searching for like the father of like, hey, I'm proud of what you're doing. Never existed. So like now, like if someone's like, damn you. So like,
and I'm like, oh no, I was joking about the third episode being more vulnerable, but
here we are. Yeah, but it gets into that, like, when proud of you in that tone is like life changing from like, I'm not proud of the work that you're putting out. Yeah. I'm proud of you as an individual and like the emotion that exists within that. Yeah. So like that's to me where it starts to change.
Yeah, which is really heavy.
Yeah.
Which is really heavy. And now I'm like, whoa, like I don't, and you're right, like I don't coach fluffy. It's all very direct. It is more of that level of I'm proud of you. It is more of that you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Charge more. But in my head, I see something so differently.
Yeah.
Like in my head, I'm like, you're crushing and I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. No, I have people in my life that I know that like they're gonna love everything I put out.
Yeah.
Like they're just gonna like, which is cool. Like I love that. And then there's people like when it hits and someone reaches out to me, I'm like shit, yes. Like damn, like that they don't hand these out like candy. They don't give this kind of affirmation to anybody. Like that to me, and I don't mean to like downgrade the cheer people 100%. In my life, but there's some individuals when they hit it, like it wrecks me, and I'm like, okay, like I'm doing something here, and it's more than just, hey, cool, I'm proud of you for doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it goes back to that circle of people.
Yeah.
And making sure that you're surrounded around the right people. I know when I had to very intentionally change my circle, and we met on TikTok.
Yeah.
And people think that's wild, right? Like people are like, that's...
How you building your circle in Pennsylvania? Yeah.
And I love the power of social media. I love that you can connect with people on social media. I love that you can find people in your network. Yeah. And my messaging is always going to be level up your circle, because you're only as good as the lowest person in your group.
Yeah.
And your circle is going to be your ceiling. And I talk a lot about this. But when we have circles that are holding us back, that's really challenging. And a lot of people will say, well, how do you make your circle, right? How do you get in rooms with people? How do you end up right here?
Yeah.
Right here. How do you get around people that are like-minded, that are creative, that are pushing you, that are cheering for you, that are saying, I'm proud of you? And social media is super powerful, and it gets so much crap of like strangers on the internet, right? We are both of the generation of AIM chat. Yeah. AIM chat rooms of don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers in AOL chat. But the power behind it to be able to create a network and create a circle. Like I came across your stuff and I was like, yes, like obsessed. I found the coffee channel with you and with I Travel for Coffee, and I went to New York in December. Who was the first person I reached out to about coffee? I was like, where do I need to go? And you were like, Remy 43. And I was like, sold. And you were like, not the one near your hotel, the one really far away. And I was like, sold. And I loved it. And I loved it because I was like, okay, this guy, like, it's building those connections. And then we talked a lot about the podcast. We talked a lot about leadership. You can build connection through social media, and it doesn't have to be this negative thing. Not everyone on the internet is trying to murder someone.
Hopefully. I got a few hours
You got a few hours for your flight. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But being able to build that network is so important, to find people. And if I can encourage people to do anything to help with their imposter syndrome, it's find the right network of people that want to support you, that cheer for you, that want to make you proud, right? Find the people that will cheer for you the way that you cheer for other people, like, and that's really important.
One more story. Just it's my buddy and I were on the YouTube channel. We were in Boston, and kind of like wild things that happen to us. We always meet some fantastic people, and I encourage people to travel and get out and like talk to a stranger at a bar. Like it's a crazy. But we were doing an intro to my.
Is your mic on?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'll edit that out.
Okay.
Carry on.
But we were doing an intro to my YouTube channel at the time, and we see these two individuals stop as they were walking up. It was a man and a husband and a wife, and they're just standing there watching us. And we finish our intro, and we walk over and start talking to him. And like he's like, "Oh, I was like just kind of fascinated by what you two are doing and your YouTube and how you're talking and like your intro to things and just interested." Ends up he's a CEO of a large company. Like, I don't want to name drop or like, and we're like, what the hell was happening to us? And it just goes that power of like we could have easily just walked away and did our thing and ignored these two individuals standing there kind of talking, but my personality, I'm like, "Hey, how are you? Like, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Well, I'm like just kind of intrigued on what you're going on." And we started talking and having conversation. But that comes from confidence and the ability to be like, "Hey, I'm just gonna go have this conversation with somebody." But that connection that we made there, like we spent 8 hours with him and his wife, like going to different bars, meeting new individuals, having pizza, like getting to see like kind of like the backside of Boston, and those kind of things are like. Now I have this like CEO of a large corporation. I have his phone number, and like his wife like connects with us on Instagram all the time. It's like we're talking about a network, like talking about like he's like, "Hey, if you're ever in Colorado, like our house is open for you if you want to stay." Like that's the kind of things like social media does that stuff, the travel, the connections, those kind of things. If I'd have just said, "Hey, this crazy lady wants to hire me to come out to Nevada, I'm not going to do it because it's scary," I would have regretted it. I probably wouldn't have known all the positives that are coming out of this weekend. But what a shitty thing to potentially miss out on. Like friendships, the connections that I made while I'm out here. I mean, we had dinner with some friends, and I mean, it was fantastic, and like made new friends, and now we're talking about like, "Hey, when's the next time we're coming out? Because there's other people that want to book with you." Like, how the hell is that happening?
Which is so cool because, like I said, I know that we've talked a lot this week, but just that to watch your growth from when I first started talking to you, and you pushed back with a "why me?" To hey, now I've got lots of people reaching out. We need you back. We need you back because it landed. And you're carrying a message that's so differently. And it goes back to that. I love that you mentioned anyone in my circle that watch it. Anyone watching this that knows my podcast knows that I'm a big stranger talker. I love strangers. I love it. I love talking to strangers. I love hearing people's stories. I love knowing people. And people will ask me, like, how do you have such... A lot of times people will come to me of like, "You have 8 million friends." Like, I don't understand. And it's because I listen to people. And I'm curious. And I'll talk to anyone. You're the same way. There are very few people in my world that will just hello people in a restaurant because they're walking by. And making those connections with people you don't know. One connection can change everything for you. And I say that all the time, hoping that it lands with people. One person can change your entire life. One person can change the entire trajectory of your business. One person, and you don't know where that person's going to come across. It could be the person in front of you at a grocery store. I've met wild people on planes. I've met wild people in cities. I've met wild people at bars. Like, you don't know who you're sitting next to, and you don't know. A lot of my circle is not right here. I have a fantastic circle right here. But I have a lot of cool people in Portland that I met because I sat down at a bar. A lot of cool people in Portland because I sat down somewhere and said, "Hey, I'm Callie." And it's so crazy how many missed opportunities people are getting because they're not willing to say, "Hey, hello."
And you don't always have to change. Like, I mean, I tried to exchange jackets with a Costco delivery lady. Like
midnight coffee roasters.
The
delivery lady.
But and it's like, just talk to people. Like the majority of people are friendly. Like if they don't react in the first moment, like move on. But like, just connect with people, man. It's strange to me that people can walk through buried in their phone. Like, don't get me wrong, like I'm a phone junkie. Like I like my social media, but
I see the success of my posts.
I mean, but it's like, say hi to somebody, talk to the stranger on the airplane, say hi to the Costco delivery lady. Like, just treat humans as humans and be good people. Things will come around. So.
And we talked about sales around this because sales are so hard. And how do you market yourself and how do you put yourself out there? And you asked me how do you pitch your sales? And I said, I connect with people.
Yeah.
All I care about is connection. I'm not going to tell you I'll tell you what I do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to write you a proposal.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what I do. I'm going to get to know you. I'm going to build connection. And that's how we ended up here.
Yeah.
You never hit me with a, hello,
Yeah.
I am a photographer.
I tried to convince you not to hire me.
You did try to convince me not. You did try to
What
tell
a
me.
sales tactic. Like, no, I'm not it. Like, I'm not your guy.
Wrong.
Yeah.
This is not good for you.
Yeah.
But it's so much of what I do. Like, I'm not going to give you a proposal for what I do. I'm going to connect with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you. And I might not be for everyone's services. I know that the services that I do are expensive. I know that not everything, there's a reason why I do a variety of different, I do free power hours. I do all these different things.
Yeah.
But I don't need everyone to be a sale. I want everyone to know who I am, though. And I want everyone to feel valued and listened to and have a connection point, because you don't know who they know.
Yeah.
You don't know who they're going to give your services to. You don't know. And some of it just comes from authentic connection, which is talking to strangers.
Exactly.
Just talking to strangers.
Yep.
Just talking to strangers. If you could give people one bit of imposter syndrome, like, takeaway.
Oh, I think it's just, I mean, as hard as it is, like, listen to the feedback. It's just accept it. Don't try to push it away. Like, the majority of time, if someone's giving you, like, especially a stranger, like, if they're giving you that good feedback, it's most likely genuine. Like, if it was, there's not that many shitty people in the world to be like, I'm going to reach out to this individual and tell them they're good just to, like, mess with their head.
Right.
Like, they exist. Like, but the majority of the time, like, if someone, like, take that as a win and don't try to beat yourself up over it and think everything is a scam or is false. So that's my,
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Well, thanks for being here.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for recording 3 times with me and doing my
reverb.
Hopefully this, I know, I've noticed we both have been looking at our mics to make sure they're still working.
This is episode 1, so it's a little bit of,
We're working through it. But I appreciate, your vulnerability and being able to chat and talking to me about all the things. I know that I put people on this couch to talk to me about their vulnerabilities. And it's hard, especially when you've got platforms to say, hey, this is where I struggle, this is where I'm not succeeding, especially when to the rest of the world you look very successful.
Thanks.
And you look like you're really crushing it, because you are. But it's hard internally.
Very much so. Yeah.
Very hard. So thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And leaning into all of my shenanigans.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys next week. And thanks for joining us on our 3rd retake of the Next Level Up podcast.
All right.